Hello, and welcome to the latest in gaming. My gaming news show coming at you live multiple days a week, usually, hopefully. It is currently Monday, June 23rd, and today's topics are Xbox MetaQuest VR headset leaked and maybe announced later this week. Death Stranding 2 reviews are out, and people think it's pretty epic. And Game of the Year Game of the Year Mind's Eyes developer Build a Rocket Boy is hit with layoffs? What? What a surprise. Who would have thunk? If any of that sounds interesting to you, stick around, and if you're feeling generous, you could help a guy out and hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, I guess I'll just hop into it. So, Xbox and Meta are making a VR headset. What does that mean? Is it an Xbox exclusive, like a VR headset for the Xbox? No, that ain't it. But it is pretty cool. So, let me go over to the news here. So these images leaked online. I haven't read the full article, so the news will kind of be coming to me at the same time it's coming to you. These are the first images of the Xbox Quest. First image of the Xbox Quest 3S leaks online. This comes from Sam Sepiel at Insider Gaming. So this is, I guess, there's if you probably know of the MetaQuest. It's like Facebook's VR headset. They've had like MetaQuest 1, 2, 3, and then there's the 3S, I guess, which is like the cheaper alternative to the MetaQuest 3. It's, I would say, probably the most affordable way to play VR. Much more affordable than the PlayStation VR 2, which is the one that I had. No longer have because there's fucking no games on it, so I figured I would sell it. I would like one of these eventually, though. Maybe not the Xbox one, but maybe just a Meta. Anyways, let's get into it here. So, an image of the MetaQuest 3S Xbox edition has surfaced online. Okay, yeah, so this isn't like really a special like Xbox exclusive VR headset, but I would say this kind of does a couple things here. So, it's just kind of an Xbox themed VR headset, but then I would say this is kind of a bit of a half promise anyways, because Xbox. Oh, fuck off. I forgot to record this. God damn it. Oh. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll have to just go back and record my screen. Sorry, I make clips from this, so that really frigs me up if I don't have it recording from the beginning, like a dumbass. So, let me just read some more so then I can give some more insight. An image of the MetaQuest 3S Xbox edition has surfaced online, seemingly confirming today's rumor that a new announcement of the device will come next week. Update: Insider Gaming has independently verified that the Xbox Quest 3S has already been sent to some retailers. Xbox has been on a massive multi-platform push recently, announcing its Asus ROG partnered handheld console and confirming a partnership with AMD for their next-gen console. Now their VR device, in collaboration with Meta, has leaked online. MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition packaging leaks online. An image by Zuby Tech on X shows us what the packaging of the MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition looks like. The box features Meta 3S Xbox. Holy shit, I can't talk. Written on the front with logos of both companies on the bottom right corner. The VR headset is entirely black with a green ring around the face panel's edges. Compared to the traditional MetaQuest 3, which is in all white, the headset is very much on brand with Xbox. On the top right of the box can be seen a Xbox wireless controller, but it's unclear if it's included with the Xbox Edition MetaQuest. So yeah, here's the picture, or pictures, maybe just one picture. Yeah, so it's That's what the box looks like. And that's like a more official photo of it. Perfect. Okay. A few hours ago, details of this Xbox Edition MetaQuest leaked online. It will reportedly cost $400. This is US. Sorry. It will reportedly cost $399 USD, feature 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and have 128 gigabytes of storage. According to the source, the official announcement for this Xbox and Meta collaboration headset will arrive next week on June 24. Okay, so I probably will not make a clip from this. That's fine. Insider Gaming has already contacted Microsoft and Meta for comments and has not received any responses as of writing. In other news, the Xbox Classics claims has denied. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So what I want to say about this is like, in one way, this isn't much news at all because it's just like a themed VR headset. But I would say this kind of sets a precedent for future Xbox games on, potential VR stuff and like maybe more VR modes in their games. Like maybe there'll be like a VR Halo mode or like VR Starfield. That would be sweet. Like games that like you can play on Xbox, but maybe they'll have other features on other platforms because they're focusing so much on third party now that like they really don't make a ton of money off of selling consoles. So I think they can just go full on like, hey, if you don't have our console, that's fine. Honestly, it's probably better if you don't. And this is one of the reasons why, is because some of the games might have more features on other things, or like, yeah, like it's just, or maybe they'll have like, this could be plugged into the Xbox, but even then, like, I don't think so, because I think most of the games for the MetaQuest just run right off of the headset itself. So like, I don't know. I think it does definitely set a precedent though that Xbox will kind of have a bit more of a push on VR, which they haven't really had in the past little while. Which isn't like crazy. I don't think it'll be anything amazing, because it's kind of clear that VR has it's carved out its little portion of the industry, but it's not what everybody thought it would be. Not everybody. Some people thought that VR was going to become the main way to play video games, and that hasn't been the case, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. It's more of a niche side thing, and that's fine. It has its own pocket of the industry, and Xbox has such a fucking chokehold on so much of the industry at this point from just buying everything, that it's honestly weird that they haven't done any VR stuff yet. So like, this was really like a long time coming. But yeah, also in a lot of ways, it's just a nice little Xbox theme version of this thing that already exists. However, I wonder, like, do any Xbox games, so it comes with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, allegedly. So, is there games on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate that have VR modes in like MetaQuest? Like, yeah, I really don't know there, because it's really like not the platform that I'm too focused on. So I wonder, like, will that Game Pass Ultimate actually give you any benefit to more VR games? Because I know you can play your regular non-VR games in VR, and it'll be like a huge screen, and that's pretty cool. But like, will this actually help you out to play more, to play games either developed by Xbox or even just on Xbox Game Pass in VR? That's kind of what I'm wondering. And maybe somebody will know better than me. So if you do know, if you're watching this and you do understand a bit more than me, because I'm obviously not an expert on it, let me know. I would really appreciate a comment or what have you. But if you're just going to call me an idiot for not knowing, maybe save it. I would appreciate that. Well, the engagement is nice, but I don't. It doesn't make me happy when people comment mean things. Surprisingly, I know. Okay, I've got a lot of little things to touch on today, so I'm just gonna get to the next thing, which is Death Stranding. Wait, sorry. Death Stranding reviews are in, and they're kind of freaking glowing. People are loving this game. Ah, shit. Just a sec. Death Stranding to Metacritic. Okay, so let's pull up the Metacritic first. Sorry. Let me start this again. Death Stranding 2 reviews are glowing. Right now, it's sitting on a 90. Right now it's sitting at a 90 on Metacritic. The game isn't even out yet. It's not out for another 3 days, but I guess the review embargo lifted today, and people are fucking loving it. So I'll read a bit of one review and then go through some Metacritic numbers. So this review is from, who wrote this review? Jordan Midler. Of course, it's Jordan Midler. He writes everything there at Video Games Chronicle. So he gives it 5 stars, and he says, okay, Death Stranding 2 review. Hideo Kojima delivers an all-time great sequel and one of his best. 5 stars. Kojima Productions greatly improved follow-up delivers on concept the original promised. Okay. The original Death Stranding, with its delivery missions across hauntingly beautiful Icelandic landscapes, also known as America in a couple hundred years, was an admirably unique but deeply divisive debut for the reformed Kojima Productions. With Death Stranding 2 on the beach, the studio has made a sequel that significantly improves on the original in virtually every way, with a stunningly designed world, greatly expanded gameplay and player choice, and one of Hideo Kojima's most compelling narratives and cast of characters to date. Death Stranding 2 delivers on the core concept of the original game, promised in a package that admirably balances Kojima's Hollywood sensibilities with top-notch action and unmatched atmosphere. It's undoubtedly one of the best sequels in recent memory and arguably one of Kojima's best ever games. Why do I keep saying it wrong? It's Hideo Kojima, but I'm saying Kojima. And arguably one of Kojima's best ever games. I'll just read this next part and then I'll go into more. On the Beach is once again a story of a lone courier traveling across. Okay, now this is more of a recap, but yeah, basic. It really improves on the first game. So let's read a bit here of some synopsises. So, Tech Radar gave it a 100 and said Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is a great example of a sequel that expands on the original without losing sight of it. The traversal is still the star of the show, while the action has been significantly improved without taking over the experience. While conventional plot takes the back seat for a more character-driven story, the new cast of characters and a phenomenal final third act stick the landing with prime Hideo Kojima bombast. This is honestly friggin' music to my ears, because I played quite a bit of the first game. I didn't beat it by any means. Probably didn't get far at all in the story, but I played a lot of the game because I enjoyed walking. I'm a big walker. So knowing that the story takes a back seat is fucking awesome, because I think I have to be a little more open to when it comes to Kojima stories, because they're very weird. And I hate to say it, I think I got my opinions very much from Video Game Donkey, and I'm not dissing his opinions, but he has been very negative on Kojima games in the past, and their stories, especially Death Stranding 1. I was like, oh, fuck Death Stranding. And then even he's kind of gone back a little bit on that stuff eventually. Not fully, but and even though he criticized it at the time, I still played it and I still enjoyed it. But yeah, no, the story I did not give a shit about at the time, and I probably wouldn't care about it that much more, because I'm not a huge fan of super super weird shit. But that's just me. But knowing it's more character driven and like performance based, I think I will enjoy that more, me personally. But some of my biggest problems with the game is, the action sucked in that game, especially compared to having just come off of, not just come off of, but Metal Gear Solid 5. The combat in that game is impeccable. One of my favorite games of all time. One of the best feeling games to play ever. Like, just, it's crazy how good that game plays, and it sucks so much that it didn't get finished. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5, amazing. And a lot of people that have played are saying that this is very similar to that in its action style. Because the first game, I remember I did enjoy, because you could pick up, like, you're carrying around the big boxes, obviously, and you could throw one at, like, the people's heads. And I remember I did that so many times, and it would, like, knock them out. But, like, other than that, there wasn't a whole lot to do. So let's read some more reviews here. So that was like the highest of the high. Let's read a low one. What's okay? IGN France gave it a 60. CL 103 critic reviews. Can I please? Okay, mixed. We got some mixed reviews. Okay, let's see the mixed. GameSpot gave it a 70. Okay, the first Death Stranding was eerily prescient. Having or showing knowledge of events before they take place. Yeah, that's fair. I wonder if they knew that word before they threw it in there. Probably. Reviewers are pretty well versed in their English or whatever their language is. Releasing in 2019, it was impossible to divorce it from the COVID-19 pandemic that followed a year later. The parallels between preppers living in bunkers and people struggling to find ways to connect with others, reflecting a period of quarantine and uncertainty about the future. By contrast, Death Stranding 2 is less precise and clear about what it wants to say. It seems committed to making you ponder many things at once, inviting different takeaways. Its story touches on topics like the increasing harms of climate change, how our everyday actions are being automated with each passing day, the damaging presence of guns, the clash between governments and privately owned entities, and the importance of helping others in any way we can. If the sequel is prescient of anything, it is that the fixation on the past binds us to repeat history, no matter how much we try to pretend otherwise. Okay, so that doesn't really talk a lot about the negatives of the game, but I guess you only have so much space in your little game, in your little thing here. So maybe let's take a little gander at the first little bit that GameSpot has to say. After its predecessor served, okay, who wrote this, by the way? Diego Nicola Arguella. Oh, sorry if I didn't mean that to sound racist. I was just trying to pronounce the name as best as possible. Diego Nicolas Arguello. Sorry, I don't know what the smiley face I don't know how that's pronounced. And is the G soft? I don't know. After its predecessor served as a beacon of novelty amidst a sea of stagnation, Death Stranding 2 on the beach had a big challenge to overcome. Death Stranding's absurd nature, encompassing everything from urine grenades to gently rocking your controller to calm a distressed baby, was coupled with a rich new setting to unravel. But this second iteration doesn't feel as arresting as it mirrored in familiar story beats, a disappointing lack of friction, and an obsession with doubling down on the weaker aspects of Death Stranding. Oh, bro did not like the game. Fair enough, bro. Okay, IGN France 60. Let's see what IGN France had to say. Are they more based than IGN US, which everybody hates? I don't fully agree with that, but Death Stranding 2 isn't a bad game. It's a beautiful game, but it disappoints precisely where the first one was astonishing. By leveling out the difficulty, rendering the journey anodyne watering down what made the original game a tough, unforgettable experience. Here, Kojima seems to have given into the temptation of comfort and past criticism, delivering a game that is more accessible but less meaningful. Far from extending his vision, On the Beach seems to mark his running out of steam. Oh, okay. See, what I'm seeing from a lot of reviews is kind of the things that they didn't like about the first one, which maybe the things that a lot of people didn't like about the first one, this person who wrote this, kind of liked it. I see that because a lot of people enjoy it. There's okay, this is just French. Okay, I know a little bit of French, not that much though. What was I saying? Yeah, a lot of people like things that are, obtuse. And I understand that can be fun in a lot of games. And I feel like that was a big point of Death Stranding 1. The obtusity? I don't know. The obtuseness of some of the things that you would have to do in that game. But at the same time, there's a level you have to balance out, like, at what point is it annoying to strengthen the game, and at what point is it annoying to be annoying? You know what I mean? And that was another thing too with Donkey, Video Game Donkey reviews in the first game. I think like when he originally started playing it, he really hated the obtuse things about the game, and there are a lot of problems with the game as well. But he hated the obtuse nature of it. But the more and more he played it, the more he was, the more he liked it. Okay, next review. Dexerto. Dexerto? I've seen Dexerto. I think it's Dexerto. Death Stranding 2 is a phenomenal offering. It's among Kojima's best work, not just for its narrative, but for the near limitless variability in its gameplay opportunities. Okay, now let's say read like an 8 or like a who's another big. Try to find a bigger thing that I'm aware of. XGN, IGN, give it a 90. Game Bible, The Gamer, Power Unlimited, Gaming Trend, VGames, Level Up, IGN Portugal. Okay, let's see what Game Informer had to say. Death Stranding 2 is a game with faults and annoyances, but it also makes big, expensive swings and is trying to establish its own unique genre, often successfully. 88 out of 100. That's pretty good. So, let's take a little gander here. This is from Kyle Hilliard at Game Informer. Kojima Productions has proven has proven it's good at sequels. Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty was an incredibly impactful game that remains my favorite. Director Hideo Kojima and his team. As a result, I went into Death Stranding 2 on the beach with high expectations, continuing the story in this fascinating world while iterating on the delivery mechanics of the first game seemed like an inevitable recipe for success. Mechanically, the sequel is absolutely an upgrade over the first. Improved tools and better options make exploring and connecting Australia and Mexico more fun, despite some frustrations persisting. The narrative, however, is where I was sometimes left cold. English. Cool. I think that might be really all I have to say about it. So, yeah, it seems like overall really good. Fixes a lot of things from the first game. People are disagreeing on the story, which honestly I think Kojima himself would love to hear. I don't think he wants people to all think the exact same thing about his game. He's a weird fella. But yeah, kind of cool stuff. I have another Xbox story I wanted to touch on. How long have I been streaming? 24 minutes, not bad. Okay, so Xbox. You heard of them? They're testing an aggregated gaming library on the PC app, which I believe just means one library of games between all your different libraries of games. as in on your, Xbox handheld there, whatever it's called, the ROG Xbox Ally X, maybe? I think I got it actually. You would have one library, and your Xbox games would be in there, and your Steam games would be in there, and I would assume it would it would tell you on each one which one it is, but yeah, that's it basically. This week, Xbox insiders can test a new aggregated gaming library on the Xbox PC app for Windows 11 PCs and handheld devices. Did I read this? Yes. This is by Sam Sepiol, by the way. Okay. 30. Xbox is going hard on its multi-platform push with an image of its VR headset with Meta recently appearing online. It is also partnered with AMD to build its next-gen consoles. They are going hard. The latest move that is part of Xbox multi-platform strategy is the aggregated gaming library, allowing players to have all their games in one place. Xbox's aggregated gaming library create a single library for all PC storefronts. As revealed in the new blog post, Xbox aggregated gaming library is being tested by insiders this week and is expected to launch this holiday from the ROG Xbox Ally and ROG Xbox Ally X. The new feature will let players launch games from Xbox Game Pass, Battle.net, and other leading PC storefronts from a single library within the Xbox PC app. Doesn't matter if you use a Windows PC or a handheld, every game you own will be found in one spot. Awesome. Xbox's new aggregated gaming library will work seamlessly with the PC app. As soon as players install a game from a supported PC storefront, the title will support it. So, I wonder if some won't be supported. If some stores will be like, no, fuck you. I don't want to be supported. But I can't imagine why that would be the case. Okay, I'll keep going. The title will automatically appear in the My Library section in the Xbox PC app. And in the most recent category in the sidebar, players can also disable this feature by heading to settings, selecting library and extensions, and then hide each storefront to remove the titles. In other news, okay, that was it. This is some pretty cool stuff. It makes a lot of sense, like with them pushing this third-party stuff so much in their different libraries. What I'm really interested in is what is Xbox going to look like 1 year, I don't say 6 months, let's say 6 months, 1 year, and like 4 years down the line, whenever their next AMD game console is out. Because I kind of think that's basically just going to be a PC. But, will it be it'll be a console that you can plug into the TV, but basically a PC at the same time. Will there be a handheld version? Seems like probably not. Yeah, so let me think. So I said 6 months, 1 year, and by 6 months, I just meant whenever this comes out. Like, what is this? Like, whenever this kind of fully launches, the handheld is out, and the libraries are like starting this aggregated library. Is it going to work seamlessly right away? I can't imagine, because it's Microsoft, and Microsoft fucking sucks at this stuff sometimes. Just UI and a lot of that shit in general. Sometimes they're good, but they have flubbed it so many times. I can't imagine it's going to be great right away. So, I would say this is all like a great test to just prep for the next console, which won't be for like another couple of years. So, really, in all, I think this is they're going in the right direction. Xbox already makes more money, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Microsoft, way bigger than PlayStation than Sony and Nintendo, obviously. And they kind of just force themselves upon the gaming industry, and they're at the point now where yes, they spent way more money than the others, but because of that, now they're going to be making a lot more than the others as well. And they've just got a stranglehold on the industry at this point. Yeah, I guess that's all I really had to say about that. I have a couple other things, so I got to get through it quick. Our favorite video game ever, Mind's Eye, that everybody loves. The studio Build a Rocket Boy has reportedly started mass layoffs. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. Who could have fucking predicted this? Goddamn. Mind's Eye studio Build a Rocket Boy has reportedly started mass layoff proceedings. What a surprise. I feel so bad for the developers because like they're just like they're told to make this game, and I don't think it's really their fault that it sucks. I think it was more so the higher ups that were chasing this GTA clone that they didn't have enough time or resources to make, and then now they're going to fire everybody that worked on it. So that's awesome. So more than 100 staff could be affected, it's been suggested. Build a Rocket Boy, the studio behind Mind's Eye, has reportedly started the process of laying off numerous staff. Isn't that awesome? According to a report at IGN, which cites studio sources speaking under anonymity. Oh, hopefully that's not too loud. Dog barking downstairs. I think somebody just came home. The Edinburgh-based developer has started a 45-day consultation process with staff today. In UK law, if a company is planning to make fewer than 20 employees redundant, it doesn't have to start a consultation process. If it plans to lay off between 20 and 99 staff, it has to start a consultation period at least 30 days before any dismissals take effect. That would be nice in North America. I don't know if that's in Canada, but I know it's definitely not in the States. If the company is planning to lay off 100 or more staff, however, it has to have a consultation period of at least 45 days. Oh, just a minute. What do I have left? I have quite a bit left. Okay, I have to go for a minute. I'll be right back. I know I've got so many viewers, so don't go anywhere. Sorry about that. Had an errand. Okay. Let's go back to layoffs. We love layoffs, don't we? Just kidding. Okay. I'll just pick up where I was reading. If the company is planning to lay off 100 or more staff, however, it has to have a consultation period of at least 45 days. Given that this is reportedly the length of consultation period that Builder Rocketboy has started, it appears that at least 100 of its 300 UK-based employees could be facing redundancy. The studio also has 200 further staff overseas. Goodness gracious. 1/3 of UK-based staff at minimum. Sorry, I was in a rush. One third of UK staff minimum. A minimum 1/5 of all staff. Way to go, Builder Rocketboy. Since the release of Manzai on June 10th, social media has been flooded with videos of the game's technical issues and bugs. The situation has deteriorated to the extent that PlayStation has been refunding multiple players, a rare occurrence that previously took place during the troubled launch of Cyberpunk 2077 before it was pulled from sales entirely. The studio said it was heartbroken during an apology released earlier this month, saying it was fully committed to ensuring all our players have a great experience. However, it never said it was ensuring that all developers would have a great experience. Am I right? The game's Metacritic score currently stands at 38 for the PC version and just 28 for the PS5 version, making it the lowest rated game on Metacritic so far this year, and significantly lower than any game on Metacritic last year too. It isn't faring much better on Steam, where users' ratings are currently listed as mostly negative. Of the 1,833 user reviews submitted for the game so far, 37% are marked as positive. That's more than I would expect. In an interview with VGC earlier this month, before the game's release, Manzai assistant game director Adam Whittings told us that while Builder Rocketboy was working on both Everywhere and Manzai, most of the staff were focused on the latter. I love ladders. Why didn't they make a game of ladders? Well, we've got a big development team, and part of the team was focused on Everywhere for a while. Probably a larger part was focused on Manzai, Whitting said. A game of this kind of quality and scale needs a lot of artists, needs a lot of coders, needs a lot of everything, right? And now that the game's out, they don't need that shit anymore, so get rid of it. Get it the fuck out of here. I don't need it. I don't need this shit. Yeah, now this sucks. Who's the... Manzai... The Builder Rocketboy was a former Rockstar person that started it, right? Leslie Benzies. Which is a spearheaded by former Grand Theft Auto 5 producer Leslie Benzies. Okay, let's look up this guy. Scottish video game producer. Whoa, he looks so badass. What a cool guy. How much money do we think this guy has? Does it say? No, it doesn't say. Okay, I don't know. Whoa. UK's top 30 richest game developers. Here it is. Where's my boy Les? Let's get that bag, Leslie. In contrast to Sam Houser, fourth with an estimated 350 mil. The brothers have helped steer developer Rockstar, and studio heads just keep making these games that are like just guaranteed to fail from the beginning, and they just can't get out of their own goddamn way. And then they don't suffer from it. They're still rich. It's just the developers. And this is like the fucking third. This is like the fifth or sixth time I've talked about this alone. I miss most of the news that comes out because I'm a busy guy. And I feel like I'm talking about this every other day. Gosh, okay. Well, let's move on to the last couple of things we have here. Gosh, I seen this bone ad. I'm like, oh gosh, what is that? So, a pre-release build of PS5's Axed game Concord leaked online. This is from Chris Skilling at VGC. I think this is a good thing, by the way. Sony released the game last year, then delisted it after 2 weeks. A development build of Sony Interactive Studios and Firewalk Studios' ill-fated Concord has been leaked online. The build, for which is named FW Chaos, was uploaded over the weekend and claims to be a build dated November 14th, 2023. Okay, so that's quite a while before the game came out, 9 months. If this date is accurate, it means the build was compiled 9 months before the game's launch in August 2024. VGC has downloaded the build and can confirm it appears to be authentic. Loading the game displays a login screen that can't be bypassed. However, the build's uploader has included an .ini file, which enables a developer menu. When this is applied, the game loads directly to a select free gunner screen. From there, it appears the player can go no further because no free gunners appear on the screen, meaning nobody can be selected. It is at least possible, however, to enter a pause screen and from there access the main menu where numerous menus can be viewed. This includes a partially completed galactic guide which provides information on the galaxy's various planets and a crew section where information on the game's 16 playable characters and their variant outfits can be found. It includes a job board which just has a placeholder text and a store option which doesn't do anything as well. As a settings menu containing developer options setting. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's just a lot of stuff. Given the game's online requirement, however, it doesn't currently seem that it's possible to get beyond these screens or choose a free gunner to play the game, meaning that unless enthusiasts find a way to get the build running a proper game, these unfinished menus are all the build provides. Just 2 weeks after it was released, this is good, I would say. Like, so many people worked so hard on this game and then they lost their job because of it, and they probably never wanted to work on it in the first place, but they probably did really good. There's a lot of like the 2 people that played Concord enjoyed it, but it just wasn't really what the industry needed at the time. Like, nobody wanted another Overwatch, especially with like kind of bland Guardians of the Galaxy type characters. By the way, I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but you know what I mean? Like, it was very much a boardroom game, as I would call it. But a lot of people worked really hard on it, and that stuff is just gone forever. So to see like it being preserved in any way, any fashion at all, for it to be available to the public is a good thing. There's not much other to say than that, but I would say this is good. But it sucks. Look, Concord got a 3 out of 5. Concord is a good shooter divorced from the reality of its genre. Like, it's a fine game, but it just was not what people needed at the time. And last story of the day, Sega accidentally revealed sales numbers for Sonic Like a Dragon, Persona, and more. This comes from Andy Robinson at VGC. Sega mistakenly includes sales numbers in a presentation doc. Sega has accidentally revealed the sales numbers of many of its recent major releases, including games in the Like a Dragon, Sonic, and Persona series. The sales numbers were included in a recent presentation document uploaded to Sega Sammy's investor relations website. A table of sales numbers was found to have been hidden in one slide of the presentation. The document has since been removed by Sega Sammy, but not before Reset Era archived the sales numbers in full. According to the document, Persona 5 Royal has sold over 7 million units. Wow, that's really good. Sonic Frontiers has sold some 4.5 million copies, and recent Yakuza titles, Infinite Wealth and Like a Dragon, have shifted 1.66 and 2.86. That's not too surprising. Kind of It's weird to see like how many friggin' Like a Dragon games there are, but they're just like none of them sell super well. But people love them, so I I played a bit of Infinite Wealth. I got to get back to it. A lot of fun. So what's the big standout here? I'm guessing Persona 5 Royal is the big standout here. So wait, including remaster version. Does that mean that it includes the sales from the original Persona 5? I kind of don't think it does, but I don't know. Cool numbers here. Look at all those numbers. Wow. Those are numbers. Are you guys seeing this? You guys seeing those numbers? Sega was Metacritic's #1 rated publisher of last year. Really? Okay. Wait, what did they come out with last year? Was Persona 3 Reload was last year. There's probably a couple Sonic games in there. So was Sonic Superstars last year? I don't know. I thought that was the year before. The Japanese Sega Atlas. What was the other game that came out last year that everybody loved? Metaphor. I guess people didn't get the stats on that. The Japanese company released several critically acclaimed games in 2024. Fucking just keep reading the article. Why do I not just keep reading the article? Metaphor Refantazio, I don't know. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Earlier this weekend, Sega officially announced plans to open a flagship store in Tokyo. Oh, that's cool. Called Sega Store Tokyo. Wow, that's a really good name. No details were shared. Awesome. Wow, I've been streaming for 48 minutes. Pretty solid news day today. I had this article up. I was just okay. Never mind. Anybody that watches this later, really appreciate it. What did you think about these things? I would say specifically the Xbox Meta Quest 3S headset. Do you think that it really is like news? Do you think it's actually big news, or do you think I'm kind of like blowing smoke on if like Xbox is more committed to VR than they were before, because they never really have been. I don't know. And then Death Stranding 2. Are you planning to play it? I would love to. I just can't really afford it right now, so I'll probably play it eventually though. Mind's Eye developer. That sucks, right? Okay. I think that's all I really have to say. If you enjoyed, would love a subscribe if you're feeling generous. If not, maybe a like. Maybe just a like, okay? Please. Or whatever. Thanks for